Hump Day edition of the National Briefing with me, Kelly Nash, and good morning. We are seeing next level, as George W. Bush would have said, strategery. The strategery is next level from the Trump administration. I'm going to explain to you in just a moment first off, what happened yesterday and how that is revealing finally the brilliance of the Trump administration. Yesterday, if you were watching, I guess most of the news outlets covered it. There was the breaking news that the Trump administration had launched an attack on a drug cartel boat in international waters. Marco Rubio, unfortunately staying outside of a jet, explaining what happened.
So the president's been very clear that he's going to use the full power of America, the full might of the United States to take on and eradicate these drug cartels, no matter where they're operating from and no matter how long they've been able to act with impunity. Those days are over. Those days are over.
But, of course, that can't just be the end of it, right? Wait a minute. Trump just took out a drug boat in international waters. That's not going to sit well with the liberals. We already know how liberals think. This is horrible news. There has to be something we can say as liberals that will take down Donald Trump. And you're, very rarely going to find somebody more liberal than the CNN national security correspondent, Natasha Bertrand. And she is going to bring the left's great concerns over the fact that, thousands of pounds of fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, and other such narcotics are not going to make their ways into the United States.
I mean, this is a really significant escalation. I can't recall another time when the U.S. military conducted this kind of operation against a drug cartel operating in the Caribbean. They're operating in international waters, as the president has said. But still, this is obviously part of the president's broadening campaign to go after these drug cartels, particularly Tren de Aragua, which comes from Venezuela. Now, what we don't know is exactly what kind of military asset was used to actually carry out this attack, although the president did say that 11 people on board that boat there were killed. Now, another question, of course, is just what authority was used to actually carry out this operation.
Oh, my God, what authority was used? So she has two main questions. What authority was used to kill 11 drug smugglers in international waters? And secondly, she's very concerned, apparently, because she brought the question up. We didn't get full disclosure. What military assets were used? Was it a drone? Was it a missile? Was it a helicopter? Was it a fighter jet? How did we kill these people? The American people demand answers. Actually, I don't give a rip. I'm happy that they're dead. I'm happy that the drugs aren't coming into America. I think it serves as a great deterrent to Venezuelans who are thinking of doing us harm by bringing drugs into our country. You might want to slow your roll on that. Now, Jake Tapper, a.k.a. Fake Tapper, fake news Jake Tapper, he has to be the one. Gosh, we put Jake Tapper in the corner. Nobody puts Jake Tapper in the corner. Well, Jake was in the corner, and he decided, I'll be the one to break the news to Natasha that, yeah, he has the authority.
February of this year, the Secretary of State Rubio designated Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization. So, presumably the authority that the president has to go after terrorist groups have been what he was invoking.
The question that legal experts have is that more of a sanction authority in order to limit their movements and limit their ability to do business? Does that actually provide the legal justification to take military action against them?
Are you serious, lady? Are you flippin' serious? So, first off, let's go back to what he started that statement with. In February of this year, the Trump administration designated Tren de Aragua as a terrorist organization. So they're no longer just a drug cartel. They are a terrorist organization. And they did that based off the comments of the president of Venezuela, who admitted that Tren de Aragua had marching orders from the government of Venezuela to disrupt life in the United States. If you make money, great. But I really want to bring down the United States, and we're going to embed you into that country. especially when Joe Biden had the open borders policy. Really, no problem to get into the country, bring all the drugs you want, because Biden and the crew, they don't give a rip. And that once you're in there, start getting people addicted to fentanyl and cocaine and heroin and all the other great drugs that will destroy America. That was the order of the president of Venezuela. So that's how they were able to designate Tren de Agua as a terrorist organization. Now that they're a terrorist organization, we can treat them like we would have treated ISIS, or as Barack used to say, ISIL. He always demanded to show them that respect, that was their preferred pronoun. We're ISIL, we're not ISIS. That's why I never called them ISIL. But anyway, ISIS, ISIL, whatever you prefer, that's how we're treating Tren de Agua. So that is brilliant strategy. Like 7.5 months ago, they came up with that strategy. Now we have the abilities to go after them anywhere and everywhere, including international waters. So that's what we're doing. And because we're doing this, and we're doing it with the National Guard in cities, and we are taking back America after 4 years of Joe Biden inviting lawlessness into our country. We are taking some pretty hefty steps to get it back. That has now flipped the Democrats, whether you see Gavin Newsom or the governor, I call him F.A. Pritzker. You can figure out what the F.A. stands for, I'm sure. All the Democrats are going nuts, including Brandon Johnson. He is the mayor of Chicago, one of the strictest gun-free zones on the planet, yet also one of the most murderous cities on the planet. And he had a little rally over Labor Day where he wasn't going to address the fact that in the last 2 weekends, they've had, I think, over 100 people shot. He was going to address the National Guard and Donald Trump's announcement that we are going into Chicago eventually. He's going to rally the troops. I believe this guy just became a Second Amendment guy.
No militarized force in the city of Chicago. We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago. We're going to protect the humanity of every single person in the city of Chicago. The people united will always prevail. The city that birthed Yes We Can, and the city that will defend this country. God bless you all. God bless the labor movement. God bless the greatest freaking city in the world.
Now, I don't want to speak for Brandon Johnson. I'm just commenting on what I heard him say there. So he's going to defend the city of Chicago. He wants the people to rise up against the militarization, a.k.a. the National Guard. We're going to rise up against the National Guard in Chicago. Now, you can't do that if you're not armed. So you're forming a militia, is what it sounds to me like, Brandon. You want a militia to defend the city of Chicago, the greatest freaking city on earth. And then once they defended that, you've made the bold claim that the city is going to defend the rest of the country as well. So your Chicago militia is going to march out. They're going to muster right out of the Midwest, and they're going to help the people in Baltimore. They're going to help the people in L.A. They're going to defend the entire nation against the National Guard. And I can only, in my mind, when I hear you talk about we're going to defend democracy, and what you're defending is the National Guard ending lawlessness, it sounds to me as if when you guys talk about democracy, it sounds like that is your word for crime. We're going to defend the criminals all across the fruited plains. The strategery of Donald Trump is brilliant because he's now got the Democrats defending criminals. This is the end of the Democrat Party. I don't see how they can come back from the fact that they are the party that defends criminals.